Hi everyone, welcome to Hot and Local. We're featuring local sauces and local legends here. We've been inspired by the show Hot Ones, the creator of that being Chris Schoenberger and the host Sean Evans, to replicate something similar in Ithaca. So we'd like to thank Well Said Media, who's helping with the production here, and Electric Wilburland, especially Will Russell and Lauren Stavros for hosting us. I'm Preston, and sitting across from me is a drummer who's been just heating it up here over the last few years. Yeah, you see what I did
Nice.
there? We're already into it.
Already into it.
Yeah. Sam Fishman is here, so.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the only one clapping, but that's okay. So, we're gonna embark on some local hot sauces here, so I just wanna ask, how comfortable are you with hot sauces?
Now I'm getting nervous. We're getting closer to... I can do some hot sauces.
Okay.
Usually the ones that do not require a waiver to be signed. So
Sure.
We'll see what happens.
Well,
see.
you didn't sign that beforehand. That's okay. We're proceeding anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead. Let's get into it, right? We've been waiting for such a long time here. We're going to start out with hot sauce number 1. This is IKC's JD's hot sauce made here in Ithaca. Let's just dive in, and I'll shoot the first question your way.
Okay, here we go. Took a big bite. Getting into it. I know this is the lowest of all of them in terms of heat, so.
So when my wife first met you, she asked what brought you to Ithaca, and you responded, the universe. Were you alluding to like the randomness of life, the structure of millions of events, or was it just a nice way of saying, I don't know?
Yeah, I did say that. The universe brought me here. It all started really with COVID, actually. And I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and COVID hit, and I moved back home with my parents, and I just felt like I needed to find myself and figure out what the next chapter would be. My brain kind of took me to Ithaca. I had gone to school in Rochester, so I felt somewhat familiar with New York State.
Okay.
And I had heard that there's a kind of cool little hip scene here for music.
Had you never been to Ithaca?
I'd never actually been in Ithaca before. I'd driven through it, but never really been here.
Sure, yeah.
And so I really felt like the universe brought me here. It's led to a lot of great things, namely finding Driftwood, the band, and now I'm their drummer after moving here. So that's kind of a universal cosmic thing that happened.
Yeah, nice way to approve an action that you did. Immediate reward, right?
Mm-hmm. This is very tasty.
Yeah, this is an excellent sauce. It's
Yeah.
the first time I've had it, actually. But yeah, this would easily replace any Tabasco or, you know, if you had so much Frank's, you're just looking for something kind of in that similar spice realm, I'd absolutely recommend that one.
Great. I'm going to finish it out.
Take your time. We're in no rush here. We've got a full... Okay, wow, you're going hard there.
No, it's just... I don't think I'm going to be able to finish some of the other ones, so... Cool. Delicious.
Okay, so that was one wing down. How hard can the next 9 be? All right, so wing number 2, we've got Chef Lerman's Finger Lakes Smoldering Chipotle Hot Sauce. I also have not had this one yet before, but let's go ahead and dive in.
Okay. Number 2. Ooh, yeah. Smoky.
I'm learning now I'm a much messier eater than you, Sam. So your rock band from the late aughts, Madison Rising, drew heavy inspiration from patriotism and traditional American values. Oh. So do those ideas resonate as strongly with you today? Or do you have any tips for other musicians out there who might continue to perform songs they felt strongly about a decade ago?
Oh, man. It's a great question. And it provides the opportunity for me to explain a little bit more about that project. Going back to 2011, that's when I joined. And it was a great gig. I was getting a yearly salary to be in that band.
Wow.
Something that's not really common for being a working musician. Usually it's a lot of freelance work, but the opportunity was really great. And my grandfather had fought in the Marines, and so I felt connected to supporting the country in that way, doing work with veterans who had PTSD, and that band did a lot of good. In terms of, so what was the last part of that question?
Oh, so I was just wondering, since it's a musical act that isn't currently running,
Right.
If you were to play one of their songs now, do you think you'd be able to have that same, energy that you put into it then? Or has that energy adapted as you've grown and expanded as an artist?
So focusing on the music, if someone said, "Hey, Sam, we need you to play one of their songs
we're getting the band back together for a day. Here's a stage,
That'd be so intense. I would bring the same energy because the way I see it is it's a gig, it's a job, and it is my job to provide energy for something when I'm on stage. And not everyone's as great at this, but I remove, even if I dislike it, maybe the messaging isn't what I believe in, but if they're paying me to do it and I need to provide that energy, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna half-ass it. So that's the way I see it. Maybe not quite the artistic thing, but it's a job, and that's being a professional. It's about putting away whatever troubles you might have going on in your life, and when you have a job to do, you do it.
Like this.
You're going to do it.
This cruel task that we've put in front of you.
Right. But that's how I see it. So yes, I would be able to give it the same energy, provided the terms were there and the payment was there.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got a bonus question here. This one doesn't really count. We don't have a wing assigned to it. Okay. But there's a Madison Rising website. And if you click on that, it no longer links to the band. I'm curious if you know what it links to now.
I don't.
It's just a frequently asked question page for Subaru cars. And I had no idea why.
Wow.
But I thought that was an interesting maturation of that project,
Oh, I mean, that band, it fell on its face real hard. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah.
I want to give the sauce a little bit more credit here. That was delicious. I am starting to feel some tingling sensation on my lips. I don't know about you.
A little tingle.
Yeah, but we're still pleasant. I'm still enjoying the taste experience so far.
It's manageable.
I hope you are as well.
Yes, manageable for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, we're feeling bold then.
Okay.
Wing number 3 from Old Forge Hardware, which is this super cute little shop that's actually in downtown Old Forge up in the Adirondacks. We've got a Vidalia Onion Peach Hot Sauce. I'm a sucker for sweets, so I couldn't pass this one up.
A peach hot sauce. Okay. There we go. Oh, yeah. You're opening my world. Oh, my God. So far, so good.
So, you've worked on a lot of creative projects over the years, and I'm curious, is there some relationship or intersection between music and spirituality for you? And if so, is there some type of initial catalytic event that caused this, or did it just kind of evolve over time?
Wow. Music and spirituality.
Yeah, we're diving right into it, man.
Some of my most spiritual moments have been on stage. Taking a drum solo or performing with a band, tapping into something. It's really hard to explain that only the music could provide. Getting even deeper into it, I find that when I look back on my Jewish heritage, I'm a Levi, and the Levites were actually known for being musicians and creating music for the Israeli tribes. And
so it's in your blood.
It kind of is, yeah, and I truly believe that. So I do feel a deep spirituality when I'm performing and playing the drums.
Is music something that's in your family? Like, are either of your parents or any siblings or musicians, or was this something that you kind of stumbled into or discovered within you?
So my dad is a piano player and a composer. I get all of the musical talent from him. My grandfather also played drums when he was in the Marine Corps. He started out as a drummer, so that's where that comes from, and really, yeah. So it does run in the family. And my brother plays saxophone, mandolin, yeah.
Okay, so it's like thoroughly in all of your blood. Then you guys are just
My mom though does not. She doesn't play any music. She appreciates music, but it's mainly from my dad and his dad.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the peach, I could taste that. I don't know about
It's
you.
really good. Huh? Yeah.
We should note that we went into this pretty hungry, so maybe these early wings are going to get stripped to the bone. We'll see what happens with some of those later ones. Okay, I'm ready to move on to wing 4 if you are, Sam. Okay, wow, eyebrow raise. I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like now it's going to start to heat up a bit more.
All right, well, yeah, number 4, we're here at Mojo Sauce. This is another local manufacturer of hot sauces here. Sunshine Carrot, I actually have had this one before on wings. So I enjoy this one quite a bit.
Sunshine Carrot. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Ooh, okay.
I can tell that it's ramping up now.
Oh yeah,
Just
a little bit. It just stays on the tongue now. It doesn't ever leave. It's building a home there.
Staying power. Need a little more.
So I don't know if you've seen it, but the movie Whiplash features the relationship between an aspiring jazz drummer and his, I'll say, overzealous instructor. And I was curious, as someone who was principal drummer in the University of Rochester Jazz Ensemble, did you ever find that you had to push yourself forward using less conventional methods in order to achieve a goal?
Using less conventional methods.
Pushing yourself with a degree of intensity or using some type of method that, no one, you can't easily find in a book, either to learn like a particular technique or to focus your attention or to just get your butt in the seat or something.
So the way that I'll tell you exactly how I prepared for concerts with the University of Rochester Jazz Ensemble. By the way, shout out to Miles Brown, who was the director for 1 year, my first year. Miles Brown is an incredible bass player from Ithaca, who ended up going to Rochester, and I think he's somewhere else now, but yeah, fantastic director. I would listen to the recordings. So we'd get a chart of a tune like Hey Burner, right? I would listen to the recording and I'd play along to the recording. That's what I did. That was it. So maybe not so unconventional, but it worked for me, and I was able to really tap into the songs.
From like early memories of like learning to play drums, were you using that similar type of mechanism, just like hearing music and being able to understand it, to replicate it? Or is that something you developed along the way?
So I started off mainly reading. I would just read drum exercises. And I actually did not listen to a lot of specific bands. It was mainly radio that I would listen to, whatever my mom put on in the car.
We're going to have to tell people what radio is now, maybe, just in case.
Yeah, radio. It's got little tuning dials on it. And yeah, look it up, you'll know. So yeah, so that was mainly what I would hear, was stuff from the radio, but it was a lot of reading. And it wasn't until like 8th grade that I actually would sit down and like listen to a full album and internalize the different sounds.
Do you remember what that first album was? You cited 8th grade. I've got to ask.
Yeah, I do. It was Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Perfect, a classic.
I listened to it like 30 times in a row. It's amazing. It's so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sunshine Carrot, that one, how's that treating you?
So far so good. Okay. I mean, these have all been flavorful.
Yeah.
And I like that.
We're beverage untouched here so far.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe we can push ourselves a little bit more.
Yeah, it's gonna go.
With Wing 5 here. Are we ready for Wing 5?
Wing 5, yeah.
Okay, all right. So Wing 5, we're moving on to Suede Sauce Co. We've got their liquid gold, pineapple, habanero, and ginger. So they're starting to feature the pepper on the hot sauce, so you know that's going to be intense.
And these are all local sauces.
Correct, yeah, they're all local. The Old Forge one, it's Adirondacks. I guess I call that local.
Okay.
We're all central west. It's all upstate, right?
Sure. Okay, here we go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's something here.
Yeah, I'm letting it simmer. Oh yeah, it's good.
So, in a 2019 interview you gave for the Broadband Music Channel, you said that your first reaction to stress tends to be, I'm done, I quit, F this.
Wow, when did I say that?
2019.
Wow.
So I was wondering, is your music career less stressful than other aspects of your life, or do you find that it's easier to deal with the stressors related to music?
Wow. Good question. I feel the tingles.
Yeah, I do too. I'm just trying to mask it with napkins.
I said that. Wow. Okay, so you're asking if it's easier to deal with the stresses now than it was when I said that.
You know, if ordinary stressors may cause you to be like, this isn't worth it, do you find that playing music is just less stressful, or it's easier to accept the stressors that accompany it?
Okay. So yes, as I've gained more experience, it's gotten a little bit easier to accept the stresses. But it's funny, the stresses don't come from the music itself. The stresses come from the process of creating with and collaborating with other people. When you're with a group for a while, or people have different ideas of how they want to go about things, that's usually where the stressors come from. And I've definitely had a much easier time dealing with that than before.
Is that due to some, personal growth that you've done, where you're finding it easier to interact with other people, or is it just less bothersome because you've just done it more?
Yeah, I think just from doing it more, that you sort of like
just building muscles.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like doing cold showers, right? It doesn't get any easier to hop into the cold shower, but you can tolerate it a bit more because you're like, all right, I know what to expect.
Is this some long-standing scientific study that you've been running where you're taking colder and colder showers? Or?
Yeah, I started doing that about 2 months ago.
Oh, okay.
And
that's why it didn't come up on my research, is because it had happened so quickly,
new.
I Googled Sam Fishman shower and nothing came up.
Why did you Google that?
I'm being very thorough. Wanted to be very thorough.
Yeah. So But I've noticed, you build muscles and a lot of personal growth being in the music business, or really entertainment business, or maybe any business for that matter. You really have to be sure not to neglect yourself, right? And I've found that focusing on what I need to do and standing up for saying what I need to say, that's kind of helped me deal with any BS that might come my way. And I think there's less BS these days than there used to be, at least in my own career.
Maybe some of that's due to being here in beautiful Ithaca.
Yeah. Oh, could be.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How do we feel about moving to next wing here?
Yeah. And I can tell that definitely started the second half of this.
Oh yeah, my lips are just constantly sizzling right now.
Yeah, it's good though. It's still manageable.
Okay, I'm still speaking properly. All the vowels are coming out.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so sauce number 6 here. We've got our first, I think, from Karma sauce. We've got a couple from them. They're curry Karma sauce. I'm a sucker for curry. I don't know about you, so I had to include some on here. And let's dive in.
Curry Karma. Tastes great. Aptly named.
Oh, they nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is all right.
Yeah, that one's maybe even a bit less intense than the liquid gold.
Oh, let's go.
All right, so your song "Stolen Lives" was a finalist in the USA Songwriting Competition. As someone with experience submitting their creative work for judgment, do you have any opinion on television shows or contests that provide a stage to aspiring artists?
Do I have an opinion on those shows?
Yeah, I
do.
Oh, okay, great.
I actually do, because, and this has been a new thing now that's been happening. So I'm really grateful that I was able to be a finalist for that song, Stolen Lives. It's an incredible song. Ryan Aquata on vocals, incredible. Kurt Wubbenhurst, who did some work with Seven Dust, if you remember that band. So it was just a great collaboration. Shane Stanton mixed it. It's about mass incarceration. And I just feel like it really resonated with it must have resonated with the judges at the time, hard rock kind of vibes. And so, I'm sorry, I lost the part of the question there.
Yeah. So yeah, do you have an opinion on, either contests or, production shows or something that give a stage to aspiring artists, but also have that judgment element of them?
So more of the contests. I've been getting stuff in the mail, like the Webby Awards and these awards and the Telly, and all these awards seem to be popping up now. And I find that a lot of them are kind of scamish. They're just preying on people who want to win something, because you have to pay to enter these things. Even at the highest levels, a lot of people don't realize all of these celebrities and everything, they're campaigning to get these awards. It's not like some panel is, yes, there's a panel, but the celebrities and their teams have to actually take out ads and campaign like our movie's gonna, should win an award, right? That's how it works. It's pay to play, even at those levels. So I guess it is what it is, right? And
yeah, there can be similar systems. Like I think about jury systems effectively, right? Like sometimes you can try something in the court of public opinion, right? Just advertise your stance so much that it's hard to get a fair trial from a jury, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Expending money is always going to get a message out, and it's going to be able to beat some people who maybe don't have those same resources, but have that grit, have that talent.
That's why fans are your best asset. And I encourage, it's got me a little bit. I encourage all bands, like your fans, use your fans. They love you. When you have fans, it's the greatest gift in the world. So, forget all the awards shows and whatnot. They can help here and there, but people that love what you're doing, like, have a relationship with them. It's kind of a phenomenon, right? When you're in a really popular band and it's like you have a relationship with 1,000 people, right? It's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I know. I've certainly been to shows where I see musicians interacting with their fans either on stage or off, and yeah, that has a dramatic effect on the entire performance and that experience.
It's huge.
Yeah, I like that message a lot.
Yeah.
Wing 7?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, now I'm ready to. Yeah, it's gonna kick up a little bit.
All right, so we're back to Suede Sauceco. We're going with the full throttle here. So it's a sweet pepper, 3 habanero, and onion sauce.
Okay. All right, here we go. The habaneros are pretty hot,
I can immediately feel that on my tongue. And everywhere else now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that kicked it up. I kind of feel it a little bit back here. Just a little bit. But it still tastes good.
Yeah, all of these have had excellent flavor. Oh, yeah. And this one has easily the most heat for me. You're doing better than I am, so props to you.
Thank you, yeah. I feel some more. That's good.
So I've got to ask, your Legend of Zelda rap music video on your YouTube channel.
Yeah!
The YouTube channel, Who is Fish? It's an absolute must for any fans of video games or music or stage production, frankly. How often do you let your other passions that you have in your life blend into your music, like you did with video games for this project?
Another great question. Yeah, how often do I allow other parts of my life into music? Well, that was a big one, for sure, the Zelda thing. Gosh, when was the last time? Perhaps it's more of a feeling. If I'm taking a drum solo on a day where I had like a really good workout that morning, then my drum solo is going to be maybe elevated more so than if I woke up at 1 p.m. and stumbled to the gig.
Yeah.
So I think just more of that. In terms of like interests, okay, yeah, I'll be open here, a little more open than usual. I've written some songs about farts. It's true, and
you can't hold them in. Yeah.
Can't hold them in. Yeah. Look, farts are really funny.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a couple songs about farts. So that would be an example of humor that I like making its way into music. But I guess it's not as often though. It's here, touch and go.
I think it can be a really tricky proposition. Sometimes you can maybe go too hard in the paint. The example that I think of most clearly is, when some members of Rush kind of got into environmentalism, right? They came out with The Trees, right? This song that's like this big prog rock anthem, and it's all about like the government structure of trees in a forest. And it's a really good song, but it's so enmeshed in its message. It's like, wow, like what's going on here? It's very clear that these people were like very passionate about this thing and trying to bring others on. So it seems like a thin line to be able to get people maybe that don't have that experience, but like your music and onboard them. I think that video is super fun and crushes it.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it's a great execution of it.
Yeah, it was very fun to make.
All right, bonus question. This isn't a wing-related question. Okay. I'm sneaking another one.
Yeah, sneak one in.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So there's so many Zelda games that are out there that have lovers and haters. Do you have a hot take on a particular Zelda game that you'd like to share with the world?
So when you say hot take, does that connotate like a negative?
Well, we're eating hot wings, so whatever take you want is hot.
Okay.
If you want to be spicy or controversial, that's up to you.
Okay, so here's a take that I have. The remake of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the remake of that is a top 3 Zelda game. And I just had so much fun playing it. I might even put it at number 1.
Wow.
Which over Ocarina of Time is like, that's a tough to say that. The shortness of the game, it's not too long, it's manageable, it's look down perspective. The cartoon, it's whimsical, it's just a fantastic Zelda game.
Nice. Yeah, and I appreciate something that's going to be respectful of my time. I don't have as much time as I did in my 20s to just like sit and whittle away at something. So yeah, get me in there and out of there and give me a good experience.
Yeah, so that's why I would say that's the top Zelda game for me right now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you haven't checked out that video, you have to. It's excellent. All right, Wing 8.
Yeah, let's do it. What we got?
All right, so we're back to Mojo's here. So we're going with the Smokin' Hot Heirloom.
This one?
Yeah. So big tomato flavor. See, my tongue is already going here.
What's happening? Yeah.
Big tomato flavor and some smoked habaneros.
Cool. Okay. There we go.
I'm just gonna prep myself for this one mentally.
Yeah. Okay. And these are tossed. Oh yeah.
Whew.
I can feel my endorphins like going right now.
Yeah, this one gets me.
It's good. Oh wait, hold on before I take another bite. You wait until it does what it does. Right?
Yeah, it's coming back out of me and over into your region of space. So yeah, apologies.
That's good.
So in addition to being a musician, you describe yourself on Instagram as a strategic planner and mindset coach for bands. Was there a particular bit of wisdom that you uncovered while recording your podcast series From the Vine that surprised you?
Yes. So, yes, From the Vine was a podcast that is no longer happening. We had a good run, and I discovered. Oh, there it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering how you were maintaining your composure. I'm sitting over here, just feeling sweat.
It just went here, down throat.
Yep. Yeah, okay. This one is just potent. Still a ton of flavor, but yeah, a lot of pepper.
Okay. Yeah, all of a sudden it just went there.
Yeah.
So
and it's everywhere for me too. It's not choosing a particular location.
Yeah, it feels good. Okay. So the mindset coach thing is a relatively new thing. I find that bands in particular at the just starting out, or even at the regional level, or even at the local level, are generally very bad at planning. Not great at making decisions. Those two things, decision making and planning.
So what types of planning are you referencing? Like practice schedule or gigs or?
So not as much gigs, more a run of day type of thing. Let's say we're doing a music video, right? You need to have a run of the day where you have like I'm sure, like even Well Said Media, right? Like you guys will they'll have like a run of day, like, hey, 9 a.m. we're arriving, right? 10 a.m. we're doing. So I've been in situations where like that's not even, nothing's planned. Where it's like, all right, everybody just show up at 11 a.m. and like we'll figure it out. And like I have trouble with that. And I think generally it's not going to yield the best result. So bands, I encourage bands to have somebody who's not in the band, typically would be a manager, or it could just be an assistant, who plans out the day and says, okay, here's what the day is going to look like. Here's where lunch is going to be. Because I've been in situations where we go through lunch and we're not eating. And then people start to get like kind of tired or like ornery. And well, if we had a plan that you could at least adhere to some extent, you could take care of yourself and the task at hand.
Sure. And no one wants an ornery bassist, right?
No.
Like, oof.
Bad stuff.
Bad energy.
Yeah. So planning, strategy, more of the businessy things. And so I feel there's a lot of value in providing and being an outside voice, because when you're close to it, it's hard to, when you're too close to it, right? So you don't think about these things. So yeah, so that's where that all came from.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played with you, but even just in putting all this together, there was a great deal of communication. Everything went forward smoothly. Mm-hmm. I know I really appreciated that too, because I also care about the quality of the projects that I work on. I want to make sure that everyone involved has a good time,
right?
But we're all proud of the thing that we walk out at the end of the day with. And yeah, this is a great example of that.
Yeah, exactly. Communicating. It's a big part of it. And facilitating difficult discussions, right? Even money stuff. Like as bands grow, more money starts to come into the fold. And those can be difficult discussions to have. Where do we allocate the money? How do we do this? So having someone who's not in the band makes a huge difference for people feeling comfortable talking about difficult things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of communication, we're going to borrow another segment from Hot Ones and do an Explain That Gram post here.
Cool.
So I've got two photos that I found that I think are excellent of you. We'll try and put them up in post here. Okay. So here's the first one that I found of you.
Okay.
So many of your posts tend to be, maybe you're doing a little bit more rock or you're doing a little bit more jazz or something. This one was kind of like almost contemplative, Simon and Garfunkel. And I wondered, is this just an energy that you were feeling on this day, or did you have something you were going for?
Yeah, this was an energy thing and a little bit of what I was going for. This must have been 8 years ago, maybe. So I was going, I want it to be like I'm a chill drummer dude,
It's got chill drummer dude vibes all over it, so you succeeded there.
Yeah, definitely maybe not what I would put forth today. We're all evolving, so.
Sure. And so the second one is, I love this photo here.
Yes, that's a good one.
For me, I looked at this and it immediately brought me back to like 1995 Beastie Boys style photo shoots. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know, what was your inspiration behind this?
Yeah, I mean, that was it. It was 90s.
Okay.
We were just going for like in your face, like, having fun. We were doing a dance. I wanted us to have a dance party, me and the two models. So we had a dance party and just got some pics while we were dancing and being ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So having that plan, having that structure actually allowed for more creativity to come through.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to our wing structure.
Yeah.
We're nearing the end of
two more
of our mission here. So
for this one, I did not toss mine. So I'm going to kind of add a little taste because I'm a little nervous.
All right, I'd give it a little shake beforehand.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and make sure you got the lid on so that way we're polite guests of Electric Wilburland here.
Yeah.
Want to make sure I'm allowed back here. I know you will be.
Well, we'll ask Will about that. We'll see.
So this is another Karma sauce here. What's the title of this one again?
Oh, yeah. So this is the Ghost Island.
Ghost Island.
Ghost
okay.
Island.
I'll take a nibble while you're doing a pour there.
All right. Here we go. We'll get right on. Oh, I'm going to separate it. All right. Let's be adventurous here. All right. Okay, that's too much. All right. I'm gonna take a bite of this guy.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That was a tactical pour there.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah, man.
So your drum covers on Instagram and YouTube channels cover a wide range of artists, from System of a Down to Fish to John Mayer.
Yeah.
Are you usually in control of what type of music you want to be playing, or are you following the lead of some internal or external rhythm?
Say that again. Am I usually in control of the music that I want to play?
Yeah, just in terms of, when you maybe not so much, what band you're going to be playing with that day, what the set list is, but, when you sit down, your emotions are swirling around. There's the event that just happened right before then. How much of that sinks into the performance, and how much are you able to just push away and establish what you want?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm the hot sauce is still affecting my brain.
Yeah, this one is intense.
It still has flavor though. My tongue is like on fire. One more time, just to summarize the question, and I think I'm there now. I think I'm okay.
When you sit down and you're getting ready to play, how much of your day or your life are you carrying into that performance, or or are you able to push that away and say, oh no, I want this emotion, I want this feeling to come through here.
Gotcha. Great question again, and it actually relates back to what we talked about a few questions before. If I wake up at 1 p.m. and stumble to the show, right, I'm feeling tired, that will probably affect the performance to some extent. I've gotten to the point where when I set foot on that stage, I have a job to do. That's it. And it's going to get done, and I'm going to give it the best I can, regardless of what state I'm in. Driftwood had a show. We drove through the night.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to do that again, but we did it. I thought my days of driving through the night were done.
Yeah.
I thought I was done with that. But we called it the Why Did We Book This Tour? It was really funny. But we drove from Ohio to, Pittsburgh area. And we drove to Cape Cod.
Oh my God.
It was just like 14 hours. So we drove through the night. We get there. I'm like not feeling it.
Uh-huh.
Just not. But we did the show, and you tap into it, and you got a job to do, and that's why you're a professional. That's why you get paid to do it. So whatever bullshit you have going on, like now, obviously, if there's a serious tragedy going on, it's understandable.
You're not inhuman.
You're not inhuman, right? But if like someone said something mean to you, or like you're just tired, or maybe you're upset about something. The show must go on, as they say, right? And I think I got that from the musical theater work that I did.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a large amount of like professionalism that's going into your work, similar to your idea of like communicating and setting up a schedule, right? Like
yes,
treating this with some respect.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
I felt that one for sure.
Okay. Well, we're here at the end then.
Oh my God.
Sam. I know. It went by so quickly.
Yeah, it went fast.
We've got another karma sauce here. This is Extreme Karma.
Extreme.
It's just got a bunch of peppers that are the first ingredients, so you know it's going to be extremely painful.
Oh, and I have to add to this too.
Yeah, I've coated mine.
Yeah. Oh boy. Wait, shake it.
This has been a delight. I'm going to say that now, so that way when you hate me when you're done taking that first bite.
Yeah, you said this is going to be like the miserable one, so I'll catch up to you in a second. I can see you sweating a little bit there, maybe. Okay. Oh joy. Might as well go for it, right? Oh, it's thick.
Yeah, it's a thick boy.
Oh no, I'm gonna give you a good one here.
Yeah, you're doing a good pour there.
That's good, right?
Yeah, you're gonna make your parents proud with that one.
I can smell it already. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. You did good.
Thanks, man.
All right.
You too. Oh God, this is true agony right here.
All right. Okay. Oh, it's a big difference.
Yeah, this one's hard. So, How much thought and intentionality goes into naming a band for you? If you made a band today, would the naming of it be as meaningful of a decision as it was 15 years ago, like your jazz band, Tutankhamun?
Oh, excuse me.
That's okay. I talked about farting earlier. These are all just natural things that the body does.
Oh, that was a big bite. And I got the hiccups.
I accidentally put my tongue on the roof of my mouth now, and I'm paying for it.
I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're fine. This is calm and cool here.
I don't know what to do. Okay, Tutankhamun. Your research is on point. The tongue for me. The tongue.
It doesn't exist anymore. Just rip it out. Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it.
Sure.
Reserves. Okay.
Yeah, just go into them one by one, you know? Something's gonna help, presumably. Oh, I think just a little bit more.
Here, save the best for last.
So you've been naming all these bands or been part of this naming process. Is this something that's evolved for you?
So Tutankhamun, it was named because we had 3 horn players. So, well, my friend at the time, Mike Sugarman, and he played trombone. He just thought it'd be funny to do a play on Tutankhamun and call it Tutankhamun, T-O-O-T, like the toot of a horn. As for other band names, you were asking about like what the process is?
Yeah, is it as meaning or impactful to you today as it was, 15 or 20 years ago?
I think it's the same. I think you just try to come up with something that fits and something that's kind of clever and fun. Yeah, even the Madison Rising name, which I was sitting in a courtyard at like 2 a.m. and we're looking through American history books, me and the guitar player, and James Madison, and it kind of went from there. So it's like a puzzle. You just try to solve it. I'm sure there are more meaningful band names and more meaningful processes, but for me, it's just kind of been like, what works? And yeah, kind of doing it that way.
Amazing.
I kind of want to go in for another, because I've never had anything like this before.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna do one more.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you do it, I'll do it too. I don't.
Yeah, you do another.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Do you want a fresh wing or?
I'll get it on the other side. I got it.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm super excited about what's happening right here.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's good. I psych myself out so much that maybe it's like I'm prepared.
Sure. That's nice to think you can be prepared for this.
Get out of here. There we go. Just need that. Okay. You're going to go again?
Yeah. That's when in Rome.
Yeah. This has been really cool. I'm glad we did this. Your questions are on point. You may have a career as an interviewer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Hot and local. That's what we do here.
Yeah, and again, thanks to the creator of Hot Ones, because there it is. Because it's such a brilliant idea, and it seems like it's inspired a lot of people around the world, and so I feel grateful that like we can do this and like take the lead of that program,
Yeah, and to just part the curtain a little bit here, this is the 3rd time I've met Sam. Even
yeah,
we met earlier this year. He was playing a show with another mutual friend of ours, Jessica Caparizzo, and he was a chill dude and just gave me a handshake, and that was nice. And we didn't see each other for about 5 months, and you remembered my name, and it was just really nice. And we sat down and started talking about mutual interests, and self-destruction must have come up, and we decided to do this. This has been a total blast.
Yeah.
Well, you did it. That's the full wing gauntlet. Was there anything else you wanted to do or summarize for you, Sam Fishman, drummer, musician, legend, raconteur?
Yeah, just follow Driftwood. There's a new record on the horizon. We do not have a release date yet. It's gonna come out, hopefully within the next year or half a year. So stay tuned for that. stay tuned for, like, follow me on Instagram with the Who Is Fish stuff, because you don't know what you're gonna get with me. I do a lot of random shit. Like, this is the first time that we're doing this. I do some drum solos. I do some, like, smashing cicadas. I do, like, you never know. So follow me on that, and follow my drumming. And, you know, if you have $1 million lying around somewhere, you know, I'll take that.
How philanthropic of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Yes. All right. Excellent. You did. You
just like
sweating there. I'm saying
it's
that.
like a tear and a sweat drop is combined into that whatever is on the right side of my face.
This last one jumped up big time. My tongue is still numb.